Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Spencer Highsmith. Today I want to go over a couple things. Currently, we're getting ready to breed our heifers, so we're giving them a dose of Vibrio Lepto plus VL5, or excuse me, Virus Shield 6 plus VL5. What that does, it protects against respiratory diseases as well as lepto, which can cause late-term abortions in our cattle. So what this is basically a vaccine that helps protect against that. Whenever you're giving a shot to a cow, in order to follow beef quality assurance guidelines, might want to come over this way, you basically want to give it in this neck region right in here. There's a triangle shape, and you just basically go in there. And the reason why we give it in that area there versus anywhere else is there's not a whole lot of meat that's going to be cut out right in there, so you're not going to damage any valuable cuts of meat. So this shot is actually subcutaneously. So what you want to do is, that means sub-Q is going up under the skin. And what I do is I pull that skin out just a hair, make sure I'm in that triangle section, push my needle in, and she's good. The next thing that we're going to be demoing is basically freeze branding. Freeze branding is an alternative form of identification for our livestock. We have a bad problem with losing ear tags, so this allows us to give us a permanent ID on this animal. That way we can trace it back. Way we do it is we do the tag number up on this top part of the hip as well as the year they were born. That way we can keep track of how old they are. So whenever we're freeze branding, first thing that we got to do excuse me, is we got to clip this hide. So basically we're going to give this freeze brand in this area right in here on top part of the hip. So I got to clear out all this hair. Once I've clipped all that hair, then I got to start coming in here and cleaning it off. I clean this dirt, excess hair off. What this does, it allows us to get better contact with our freeze branded irons, and allows that brand to end up showing up a whole lot better. Now you may be wondering, what's the difference between freeze branding versus hot iron branding? Well, just as the name suggests, freeze branding, what we're doing is we're actually freezing this hide in this section. Whereas hot iron branding, you're actually burning that hide. So you'll notice in just a second that whenever I put this iron to this calf, that she does not bellow. She may jump a little bit, but that's because she's got a negative 290 degrees Fahrenheit brand on her hide. She'll jump around for about 10 seconds. Once it deadens that spot, she's calm. This is virtually painless to this animal. That's the reason why we prefer to go freeze branding route versus hot iron brand. And what'll end up happening is, over time, it'll basically kill those hair follicles in that section on these red and black hided cattle, and it'll cause that hair follicle to grow back white. So white against black or red really pops out, it stands out, it allows us to see that animal a whole lot better. So once we get through brushing that hide, we basically spray a little bit of alcohol on this hide. What this does is allows us to get better contact with our freeze branding iron. Also makes that iron a little bit colder, so it gets us a better brand. So this animal's number is 19. So if you can imagine, there'll be a 1 here, a 9 here, and then the year she was born, which is 2021 right here. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Now you'll notice that I'm wearing gloves because these things are very cold. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come right up here on my 1, and I'm gonna hold it down. She's jumping around, but she's not bellowing. So normally I hold this brand here for anywhere between 20 and 25 seconds, or excuse me, 25 and 30 seconds. Make sure she gets that good pop. Alright, and if you'll come right up here, you'll sort of see that indention of where that brand was. So if you can imagine where that indention is right in there, that hair follicle is going to grow back white, It'll take it about 6 months, about anywhere from 3 to 6 months for it to really stop, pop out and come back white. But that sort of gives you the idea where it's going to be at. Next number is the 9. Now, whenever you're freeze branding, what you want to do is you want to apply real good pressure to that spot. And you'll notice I'm wearing gloves because, like I said, this brand's anywhere about negative 290 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's very cold. That cold factor is going up that metal rod. You got a good indentation there. That's always my telltale sign that everything is good. So now we've got the visual ID number, so now we're going to come back in with the year. So I go right down here in the middle, or in the lower portion. Now, one good thing about freeze branding versus hot iron branding, freeze branding actually does not damage the hide like it does on hot iron branding. So your hide's worth a whole lot more whenever they take it off the animal. So you can see right here, so we've got the visual ID number, that 19, and we got the year that she was born right there. So whenever it comes back, we can keep better records of her. Even if she loses her tag, I'll know what that animal is. I can trace her back her lineage. I can also tell how old she is, so I can keep track of when it's time to sell her, because normally we keep them anywhere from 10 to 12 years, make the most of the production cycle, and get our monies back out of return. So, like I said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I just wanted to give y'all an inside look of our operation, how we do things. So again, we gave them a shot of Vibrio Lepto plus VL5, or Virus Shield 6 plus VL5 to protect against any type of respiratory and breeding diseases, as well as identified them with some freeze brands. Thank y'all.